Letting go is often described as an act of strength, a choice, a moment of clarity where you finally decide to release what no longer serves you. But what people rarely talk about is how deeply unsettling it feels on the inside. How it can feel less like freedom and more like erasing parts of who you are. For many people, letting go doesn't just mean losing a person, a dream, or a phase of life. It feels like losing the version of yourself that existed because of it. And that is why the pain cuts so deep. When you are emotionally attached to someone or something, it doesn't live outside of you. It lives within you. Your routines, thoughts, habits, and even your sense of purpose slowly start orbiting around that connection. You wake up thinking about it, you fall asleep, replaying moments. You make decisions with it in mind. Over time, that attachment becomes woven into your identity. You don't just chase the dream, you chase the version of yourself that believed in it. So when it's time to let go, your mind doesn't register it as loss of an external thing. It registers it as loss of self. This is why letting go feels disorienting. Suddenly, the familiar emotional landscape disappears. The future you imagined no longer exists. The narrative you told yourself about how life would unfold collapses, and you're left standing in a reality that feels incomplete. The brain craves continuity. It wants stories to make sense, for effort to be rewarded, for attachment to feel justified. Letting go interrupts that story mid-sentence, and the mind panics because it doesn't know how to rewrite the ending yet. There is also the role of emotional investment. The more you pour into something, the more it becomes a mirror of your worth. You sacrifice time, energy, vulnerability, and hope. You show up even when it's hard. You fight for it, believe in it, defend it. Over time, that investment turns into proof of identity. It becomes, this matters because I matter. So when you let go, it can feel like admitting that all of that effort didn't lead where you thought it would. And the mind twists that into maybe I don't know who I am, or maybe I was wrong about myself. Another reason letting go feels like losing yourself is because attachment often fills emotional gaps. Sometimes we attach not just out of love, but out of need, loneliness, validation, or the desire to be seen. That connection becomes the place where you feel understood, chosen, or alive. When it's gone, those unmet needs resurface, louder than before. The silence left behind isn't neutral. It echoes with questions you were avoiding. Who am I without this? What do I do with all this emotion? Where do I put this love now? Memory plays a powerful role here too. Our brains don't store experiences as isolated facts. They store them as emotional networks. A song, a place, a time of day can instantly bring back not just the person, but the version of you that existed in that moment. Letting go doesn't delete those memories. It forces you to live with them without the present connection. This creates a painful contrast between who you were then and who you are now. And that gap can feel like an identity fracture. There is also fear underneath the pain. Fear that without this attachment, you are less interesting, less motivated, less whole. Fear that you won't feel that intensity again. Fear that you will become someone you don't recognize. Humans are wired to seek familiarity, even if it hurts. Known pain often feels safer than unknown peace. Letting go pushes you into uncertainty, and uncertainty feels like losing control over who you are becoming. In many cases, people confuse attachment with identity because they grew together. The relationship, the dream, or the situation coincided with the formative period in life. You didn't just experience it, you evolved within it. Your beliefs, boundaries, humor, and emotional depth were shaped there. Letting go can feel like dismantling a chapter that taught you how to be who you are. It's not that you are actually losing yourself, it is that you haven't yet learned how to carry those lessons forward without the original source. There is also grief involved, and grief is not logical. Grief doesn't just mourn what was, it mourns what could have been. It mourns the future versions of you that will never exist. The you who would have grown old with that person, the you who would have achieved that goal, the you who believed things would turn out differently. Letting go means accepting that those versions of you are gone, and that realization can feel like